Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Shri Shri Radha Kunj Bihari Ji ki, Shri Gaurnitai ki, Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maharani ki, Shri Prabhupada ki. Hare Krishna everyone. Welcome to our day 2 of this beautiful session on the glorification of Shri Shri Kunj Bihari. We're very excited today. We're very excited today that along with Amarendra Prabhu and Swastika Mataji, it looks like we have 2 more very, very special guests who are going to grace us here today at ISKCON of Round Rock. We're so excited to see the most beautiful Bhanu Nandini and Sri Krishna, Amarendra Prabhu Shalagram Shilas. So after the program, when we do Aarti, we request devotees to please take darshan, but of course maintain a respectable distance from the deities. So please don't touch them, things like that. We will get started with the class today to make sure we get to hear the nectar from Amarendra Prabhu as much as possible. One request for the Prabhus sitting here, please come a little closer. You can sit on the carpet closer here. We all know Amarendra Prabhu is very friendly, so we can come closer. Oh, definitely, exactly, yes. Thank you for that, Prabhuji. So tomorrow we can't say, tomorrow is Dvadashi, so we don't know. But today is Ekadashi, we're all safe. So please do come sit closer. With that, we welcome everyone here and we'll get ready for our part 2 today. So let us loudly chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra to welcome Amarendra Prabhu, Swastika Mataji, and to get us into the mood of Kunj Bihari Ashtakam. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. Welcome back at the Lotus Feet. Absolutely, yes. Hare Krishna. So welcome everyone. After yesterday's class, I didn't think devotees will turn up today. So thank you for coming back. Yeah. So without further delay, let's get started. Let's sing the Kunj Bihari Ashtakam. इन्द्रनीलमणि मञ्जुलवर्णा फुल्लनिपकुसुमाञ्चितकर्णा इन्द्रनीलमणि मञ्जुलवर्णा फुल्लनिपकुसुमा कृष्णलाभिरकृशोरसिंहारे सुन्दरो जयति कुञ्जविहारे कृष्णलाभिरकृशोरसिंहारे सुन्दरो जयति कुञ्जविहारे सुन्दरो जयति कुञ्जविहारे सुन्दरो जयति कुञ्जविहारे राधिका वदन चन्द्रचकोरा सर्वबल्लभवधूधृतिचोर राधिका वदन चन्द्रचकोरा सर्वबल्लभवधू चरचरि चतुरताञ्चितचारे चारुतो जयति कुञ्जविहारे चरचरि चारुतो जयति कुञ्जविहारे चारुतो जयति कुञ्जविहारे सर्वतः प्रथित कौलिकपर्व ध्वंसने नरत वासवगर्व गोष्ठरक्षणकृते गिरिधारे लीलया जयते कुञ्जविहारे लीलया जयति कुञ्जविहारे लीलया जयति कुञ्जविहारे रागमण्डलविभूषितवंशी विभ्रमेण मदनोत्सवशंसी स्तूयमानचरितशोकसारे श्रेणिभिर्जयति कुञ्जविहारे स्तूयमानचरितशोकसारे श्रेणिभिर्जयते कुञ्जविहारे
श्रेणिभिर्जयति कुञ्जविहारे श्रेणिभिर्जयति कुञ्जविहारे शातकुम्भरुचि हरिदुकूला केकी चन्द्रकविराजितचूला केकी चन्द्रकवि शातकुम्भरुचि हरिदुकूला केकी चन्द्रकविराजितचूला नव्ययौवनलसद्व्रजनारे रञ्जनो जयति कुञ्जविहारे नव्ययौवनलसद्व्रजनारे रञ्जनो जयति कुञ्जविहारे रञ्जनो जयति कुञ्जविहारे रञ्जनो जयति कुञ्जविहारे रञ्जनो रञ्जनो जयति कुञ्जविहारे रञ्जनो जयति कुञ्जविहारे स्थासकीकृतसुगन्धिपटीरः स्वर्णकाञ्ची परिशोभिकटीरः सुगन्धिपटी स्थासकीकृतसुगन्धिपटीर स्वर्णकाञ्ची परिशोभिकटीर राधिकोन्नतपयोधरवारे कुञ्जरो जयति कुञ्जविहारे कृष्ण राधिकोन्नतपयोधरवारे कुञ्जरो जयति कुञ्जविहारे गौरधातुतिलकोज्ज्वलभालः केलिचञ्चलितचम्पकमालः गौरधातुतिलकोज्ज्वल अद्रिकन्दरगृहेष्वभिसारे शुभ्रुवां जयति कुञ्जविहारे सुभ्रुवां जयति कुञ्ज विहारे सुभ्रुवां जयति कुञ्ज विहारे सुभ्रुवां ओ अद्रिकन्दर गृहेष्वभिसारी सुभ्रुवां जयति कुञ्ज विहारी विभ्रमोच्छलदृगञ्चलनृत्य क्षिप्तगोपललनाखिलकृत्य प्रेममत्तवृषभानुकुमारी नागरो जयति कुञ्जविहारी प्रेममत्तवृषभानुकुमारी नागरो जयति कुञ्जविहारी प्रेममत्तवृष ओ प्रेममत्तवृषभानुकुमारी नागरो जयति कुञ्जविहारी
Now the fruit of chanting this Ashtakam.
अष्टकं मधुरकुञ्जविहारी क्रीडया पठति यकिलहारी सप्रयाति विलसत्परभागं तस्य पादकमलार्चनरागं सप्रयाति विलसत्पर हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा
Everyone, much louder, please.
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे जय राधा कुंज बिहारी राधा कुंज बिहारी राधा कुंज बिहारी श्री राधे राधा हरे राधा कुंज बिहारी श्री जय राधा कुंज विहरे राधा कुंज विहरे राधा कुंज विहरे श्री राधे प्रभुपाद 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 जय प्रभुपाद निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल गौर हरि बोल गौर प्रेमानंदे श्री राधा कुंज बिहारी की श्रील रूप गोस्वामी पाद की श्रील प्रभुपाद की ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकय चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा Welcome back to Srila Rupa Goswami's Kunj Vihari Ashtakam. Srila Rupa Goswami Pad was given 4 tasks by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Kalena Vrindavanakeli Vartam Luptetitam Khyapayitum Vishesha Kripamritena Abhisheshesha Deva Tatraiva Rupam Cha Sanatanam Cha. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu considered Rupa and Sanatan Goswami to be the 2 eyes in his mission. Why? Because the purpose of the eyes is to give vision. So in his mission, the purpose of giving vision to the world was left for the 2 eyes, Rupa and Sanatan Goswami. And they were given 4 tasks. The 4 tasks that they were given are very famous for those who have heard it before. Any guesses what were the 4 tasks that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu entrusted Rupa and Sanatan Goswami? One at a time, yes? To discover the places and excavate lost places of pastimes of Radha and Krishna. Very nice. Tirtha, Lupta Tirtha Uddhar. Yes. To write books. Very nice. We have 50% there. What were the 4 parts? Yes. To discover deities and install them and build temples, apart from discovering lost places and writing books. And what is the 4th? To teach Vaishnavas how to live. Vaishnav Sadachar. Because if there are deities and there are pastime places and there are books, but if Vaishnavas misbehave, what is the point? The backbone of getting mercy from Krishna is by following Vaishnav culture. If one is very skilled, very intelligent, very knowledgeable, very gifted, very capable, but if we miss Vaishnav culture, Vaishnav etiquette, then everything goes for a toss. And if there is Vaishnav etiquette, Dinera adhika daya kare Bhagavan, Pandita kulina dhani bada abhiman. Those who are very scholarly, very learned, those who have aristocratic birth, those who are very gifted in this world, talented, skilled. Because of that, we are not able to call out to Krishna with all our heart. Chaitanya Charitamrita describes those who are humble and meek. Mahaprabhu showers mercy there. I want to tell you something very fascinating. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, Srila Sanatan Goswami was invited by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to have lunch with him. Sanatan Goswami used to live with Haridas Thakur at Siddhabakul. That was the place where Haridas Thakur, Rup Goswami and Sanatan Goswami did bhajan. They were outstanding. Standing outside. They were not allowed inside the temple. So the outstanding devotees were all standing out at Siddhabakul. So because of some caste consideration, they were not allowed inside. Nonetheless, Mahaprabhu would come out, meet them, give darshan to them. Others would go inside to take darshan of Jagannath, but Jagannath as Mahaprabhu would come out to give them darshan. And he would bring a prasadam plate to them. So one fine day, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he invited Sanatan Goswami to have lunch with him. Mahaprabhu was at the Gambhira in the house of Kashi Mishra, and Sanatan Goswami was at Siddhabakul. Whenever we go to Jagannath Puri, please go to these places. His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj, this year Kartik Yatra was announced, going to Jagannath Puri in the month of Kartik. So if you can, this is a golden opportunity to go and bathe in the nectarian moonbeams of mercy in Jagannath Puri. From Siddhabakul to Mahaprabhu's Gambhira is not that far a place. You can walk. Mahaprabhu is waiting for Sanatan Goswami to come so that they can have lunch together. Waiting. Sanatan Goswami doesn't come. Mahaprabhu honors prasadam and then he goes off to take some rest in the afternoon. Sanatan Goswami reaches there a couple of hours late. Please tell me, if Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu calls you for lunch, will you go 2 hours late? We would not go 2 hours late even when we self-invite ourselves. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu waited. He honored prasadam and took some rest. Sanatan Goswami reached and he asked Govinda, Mahaprabhu's personal servant, I'm really sorry, I think I'm late. I don't have a wristwatch, but seems like I'm late. Govinda said, Mahaprabhu waited for you for lunch and you didn't turn up on time, so he honored prasadam and he's taking some rest. Govinda went inside. Somehow Mahaprabhu got to know. He woke up from his sleep and came out, said, did Sanatan come? He just arrived. Mahaprabhu went and embraced Sanatan Goswami by force, who is the older brother of Rupa Goswami, who wrote the Kunj Bihari Ashtakam. After embracing him to heart, Mahaprabhu held the hand of Sanatan Goswami and asked him, I waited for you. Please tell me, why did you get 2 hours late? You are at Siddhabakul and I am at Gambhira and it's not that far. So Sanatan Goswami was hesitant to share the response. So he was just looking down, avoiding eye contact. Mahaprabhu held his chin and said, now you tell me. Sanatan Goswami is Mahaprabhu's anga, his body, extended body. Mahaprabhu loves Sanatan Goswami. So he said, please tell me, why did it take so long? Sanatan Goswami said, because I walked all the way and it took some time. Now please know, Sanatan Goswami is an expert walker because his daily service is Govardhan Parikrama. And not the inner Parikrama of 22 kilometers that we take. He would walk through the villages. Actually, I was hearing in one class of my Guru Maharaj who said that Sanatan Goswami, he would do Parikrama of Govardhan, but we do the inner Parikrama. But he would do the outer Parikrama because he would see there are many trees on the Parikrama Marg. And he would think, these are great trees, why should I bypass them and do a shorter Parikrama? I want to even circumambulate those sages who are appearing in the form of these trees. But then when he would take the outer Parikrama, he would realize, if you take the radius further, there are villages filled with Brajbasis who are living at the foothill of Govardhan. How can I bypass them and just circumambulate the trees? So he would take the route through the villages, circumambulating the villages with the Brajbasis, with the trees, and of course Govardhan. And it would be like more than 65 kilometers total Parikrama, 3 times of what we usually take. And he would do it every day. So you can imagine. We take about 6-7 hours of Giriraj Parikrama. And then even while doing that Parikrama, at every 20 minutes, there is a pause for either lassi, kachoris, samosa, and I'm already, today's Ekadasham, please forgive me. Somehow mysteriously such examples come out only on Ekadashi. I am not the doer, Krishna is talking. And then you can see to the side we have shops which will say free massage, leg massage, 5 minutes. You've seen those machines that they have, grrr, motor. You just have to place your feet and then they will massage for about 5 minutes. And then people like me do that like 6 times during one Govardhan Parikrama. And then Sanatan Goswami is like, what? I do this every day. So he's an expert walker, by the way. He can walk like this. So Mahaprabhu said, please tell me, why did it take so long? Sanatan said, because from there to here it takes some time. Mahaprabhu said, no. Tell me, which path did you take? Sanatan Goswami knew there was a shorter path. And the shorter path came through the Jagannath temple. He didn't take that. He told Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I took the longer path through the ocean beach, through the ocean shore, in the afternoon, summer afternoon, Jagannath Puri, sand, ocean shore, barefoot. Sanatan Goswami's whole body was filled with wounds. The only part of his body which was safe and healthy were the sole of his feet. And now they were filled with blisters, burnt by the summer afternoon heat, jumping through the sand of the ocean. And that was much longer a path to come to Gambhira. Mahaprabhu said, why would you do this? Why not come straight to the temple, through the Jagannath temple road? Sanatan Goswami Pad said, I am so fallen. My body is filled with open sores and wound and pus. And at the same time, I come from a very bad background. He said, I have connections with Nawab Hussain Shah. I'm not allowed in the Jagannath temple. So if I can get to the Jagannath temple, why should I contaminate and pollute those who can actually go inside by touching them, by coming through that path? If I come through the shorter path, just for my convenience, it's possible my body, which is filled with pus and wounds and blood, and with contaminated consciousness, Sanatan Goswami said, it's possible I may touch the paraphernalia, I may touch the coconuts, I may touch the flower garlands, I may touch the tulsi offerings, I may touch the cloth, I may touch the chadar of so many visitors or pandas and pujaris who are going inside. For the sake of me coming quicker to you, why should I touch and contaminate those who can go inside while I can't? Mahaprabhu said, tell me, what did you do? Did you really come through the ocean beach path? Sanatan said, yes, my Lord. And Mahaprabhu dipped down and picked the sole of Sanatan Goswami's feet, and it was filled with blisters. And he said, it took me time, I couldn't walk. I was jumping barefoot through the ocean shore. At that time, Mahaprabhu said, Sanatan, you should have come through the straighter path. Now here's the point. Listen to this very attentively. Mahaprabhu said, you should have come through the straighter path. Sanatan said, by touching me, people become contaminated. Mahaprabhu said, shh, that's not true. And then Mahaprabhu said, please everyone chant, Jadyapi tumi hoy jagat pavan, Tuma sparsha pavitra hoy deva munigan. Jadyapi tumi hoy jagata pavan. You're saying you are contaminated and contaminating. I correct you, Sanatan. Jadyapi tumi hoy jagata pavan. Just by your presence, you purify Mother Earth. Whomever you glance at, that person becomes pure. And I'll tell you a secret. Those people whom you see coming in and out of the Jagannath temple, they are demigods. And they're coming from Indra's court, walking on that path only with this aspiration that you will touch them somehow. Tuma sparsha pavitra hoy deva munigan. 330 million demigods in different stages. They take human forms and walk in and out between Gambhira and Siddha Bakul through the Jagannath temple with the aspiration that may we be touched by Haridas Thakur, may we be touched by Rupa Goswami, may we be touched by Sanatan Goswami. But Sanatan, I understand, you will never think that I am going to purify them. Why? Jadyapi tumi hoy jagat pavan, tuma sparsha पवित्र होय देव मुनिगण, तथापि भक्तेर स्वभाव मर्यादा रक्षण, मर्यादा पालन होय साधुर भूषण. Although you are all purifying Sanatan, but I understand Vaishnavas never think that I am the source of purity. Tathapi bhaktera swabhav maryada rakshan, maryada palan hoy sadhura bhushan. The ornament of a sadhu is he always follows Vaishnava etiquette. And Vaishnava etiquette means considering oneself the lowest. So Sanatan, although I don't agree to what you're saying, but I see your perspective. Because Vaishnavas always self-deprecate themselves. This is why you can see, now's the connection. Sanatan Goswami's younger brother and disciple Rupa Goswami, who wrote this Ashtakam, he doesn't even leave behind his name in the Ashtakam. Because the fruits don't fall very far away from the tree. Every song that Rupa Goswami wrote, you can see he writes the name Sanatan in that. Like for example, Jaya Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhav Daite. Very famous song of Rupa Goswami. In the last stanza, Rupa Goswami says, Karunam Kuru Mai Karuna Bharite Sanaka Sanatana Varnita Charite. Sanaka Sanatana Varnita Charite. O Radharani, Sanak Sanatan, the four Kumaras, glorify you. Or that Sanatan refers to Sanatan Goswami, his Gurudev. From Sanak, the four Kumaras, up to my Guru Maharaj, Varnita Charite. O Radharani, everybody glorifies you. Similarly, you can see in another song, Rupa Goswami sings, Jaya Jaya Sundara Nanda Kumar. In that song he says, O Krishna, who are you? You do continuous vihar, chitta vihar. But in whose chitta you do vihar? Sanatana chitta vihar. You do vihar in the heart of Sanatan. Now Sanatan Goswami has nothing to do with the song. But because Sanatan Goswami is so humble and takes a humble position, Rupa Goswami following his Gurudev, you can see in all his songs, he writes the name Sanatan. In another song, Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande. There he says, Ayam avilolata yadya sanatana kalitadbhuta rasabharam. And he writes it so beautifully that contextually he uses the word Sanatan where it means eternal. Sanatan. So he will say, Ayam avilolata yadya sanatana, O eternal Lord. Or Sanatan, my Guru Maharaj. Like that he'll play. So you can see, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave 4-point formula to accomplish for Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, ityadi. Excavate lost places, find deities, build temples, write books, and follow Vaishnava culture. And to establish Vaishnava culture, they wrote a book called as Hari Bhakti Vilas, which is filled with Vaishnava Sadachar. To build temples, they built temples like Radha Govinda Dev, Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Raman. To excavate lost places, Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami excavated very beautiful lost places like Ter Kadam in Nandagram. And at the same time, to write books, they wrote a huge volume, oceanic galaxy of presentation, where in a book called Stavamala, this Kunj Bihari Ashtakam finds its place. So that is the context of Rupa Goswami's presentation and where this Ashtakam finds its place. Is this clear? Chalo, let's get started. Yesterday, we discussed something fascinating. Some reflections from yesterday. What are some things that we remember? Yes. Do we have a microphone which can pass? There's one here. Doesn't work? Okay, no problem. Maybe devotees can speak a little louder. I'll repeat it in the microphone. Yeah. Very nice. So Gitamrita is saying, Gitamrita is saying that yesterday we discussed the complexion of Krishna and how he takes different complexions based on different moods. So Krishna's base color is what? Dark blue. That's correct. Dark blue. And some examples: dark blue like the kajal, like the cloud, blue lotus, blue flax flower. Did anyone see what a flax flower is? Did you see? Very beautiful. Very, very beautiful. And then also blue like a blue sapphire touchstone, Indra Neelamani. That's wonderful. But then we also find in the Bhagavatam that Krishna is described as a Mahamarakata, which means a green emerald. And what was the interpretation for that? Someone from the Prabhujis. Beautiful. Radharani's golden complexion, Krishna is dark blue. And when the hue or the effulgence from mutual complexions mixes, by the mixing of primary colors, Krishna becomes green because he's base dark blue with yellow, and Radharani becomes green too because the yellow mixes with dark blue. Very nice. But then we also concluded by saying, but sometimes we see, like our Kunja Bihari, we see Krishna's in the same complexion as Radharani, golden, or in some places like New Vrindavan, he's white. So how do we reconcile that? Yes. Beautiful. Radha Chinta Niveshena Yasya Kanti Vilopita Shri Krishna Charanam Mande Radha Lingita Vigraham. Just like in Gaura Leela, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, golden, sometimes becomes black. So similarly in Krishna Leela, Krishna who's black sometimes becomes golden by thinking of Srimati Radharani. Very beautiful. So that was the conclusion from yesterday's discussion. Let's continue. Please everyone chant. Pulla Nipa Kusumanchita Karanaha. This talks about Krishna's beautiful, wonderful earrings. Krishna wears different kinds of earrings. Sometimes he has kadamba flower earrings. Sometimes Krishna has earrings made out of jasmine flower. Sometimes Krishna has earrings made out of champaka flowers. And it's quite artistic. Actually, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami describes that flowers are used so profusely in Krishna Leela. So profusely. He says sometimes flowers are used to make ankle bells. Anklets, just flowers. They may not tinkle, but they are very sweet, they're very fragrant. They bring everyone to the lotus feet of Radha and Krishna. Finger rings are made out of petals. The Sakhis in Krishna Leela are described to be very expert in making beautiful finger ring petal shapes. Actually, it is described in Krishna Leela, Radha and Krishna often have flower garland making competitions. Who's going to make better flower garlands? And Radharani has her Sakhis and Krishna also has his Sakhis. And it's described the person who makes the best flower garland in the whole of Vrindavan is Krishna. Hard to believe. Yes, Krishna. And it's described Krishna makes flower garlands of multiple flowers, and he knows exactly what combination to use them in. He knows what type of patterns to make. He knows how to flip petals in different artistic shapes so that one petal can form different shapes depending on what he wants to present. The garland will have different designs. Like when you see a garland, you don't see a garland because the designs in the flower kidnap your consciousness and you're trying to decode what's there in the design, and then you realize actually it's a flower pattern. Beautiful waist belts in the form of flower garlands, armlets, bracelets, necklaces with jasmine buds, earrings, even nose rings are made out of flowers. How beautiful. Rupa Goswami, in one work, he says, "O Radharani, when oh when will that day be mine? When you're sitting with Krishna and I can make very beautiful flower garlands and offer it around your necks, and you challenge Krishna on whose garland is better." Vakyuddha keli kutuke brajaraja suno. O Radharani, when will that day be mine? Rupa Goswami Pad writes, when you'll have a verbal battle with Krishna in a beautiful kunj made of flowers, and I will witness this by massaging your lotus feet. How sweet. It's described when this contest of flower making, garland making contest between Radha and Krishna. Radharani personally handpicks flowers for this contest. Radha karavachita pallava vallarike, Radha padanka vilasan madhurasthalike, Radha yasho mukharamatta khagavalike, Radha vihara vipine ramata manome. Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati says, all glories to the trees of Vrindavan, whose flowers are expertly picked, handpicked, finger-picked by the queen of Vrindavan herself, Srimati Radhika. And many times as Srimati Radharani goes to pick flowers, it's described. Oh, this is a very important piece of information. When Radha and Krishna have to make flower garlands, they have designated places. They can pick flowers only from there. And no cheating allowed. Like, you don't give Radharani a very beautiful garden and like just give cactus plants to Krishna. You can't do that. Both gardens are fully blossomed with fragrant flowers. But it is described that as Srimati Radharani picks, there are trees which bear flowers only during the bright fortnight. And they are called, what is the bright fortnight called? So there's a bright fortnight and there's a dark fortnight. The dark fortnight is called Krishna Paksha, and the bright fortnight is called Shukla Paksha or Radha Paksha, because that's the fairer one, this is the darker one. So here's the interesting thing. The word Paksha means fortnight, but it also means side. Swapaksha and Vipaksha, ye camp and wo camp. So there are trees which bear flowers only during the dark fortnight. And they are called the Krishna Paksha trees, which means those trees which actually bear flowers during the dark fortnight, but it also means those trees who are on the side of Krishna. You see, Paksha is a play of word there. And then there are trees who bear flowers in the fair fortnight or the bright fortnight. They are called Radha Paksha Vriksha, which means they give flowers during the bright fortnight, or it also means those trees which are on the side of Radha. So one time as Srimati Radharani went to handpick flowers, like to make beautiful blossom earrings in this contest that's described. As she went to pick flowers, Vishakha Sakhi held her hand and said, "Hey Radhe, what are you doing? You're picking flower from the opposite camp." Radharani said, "But I thought this was the designated area by Brinda Devi. We can pick flowers from here." Vishakha said, "You don't understand. You're so innocent. Yes, this is designated, but this tree gives flowers only during the dark fortnight, which means it is a Krishna Paksha Vriksha." Understand? So there's two meanings to that. So Radharani said, "Really? Even if it's in the dark fortnight, doesn't matter, it's still ours." Vishakha Sakhi played to this further by saying, "Didn't you see what the characteristics of this tree are? When you went to pick flowers, your cloth got stuck in the tree, which means it is a Krishna Paksha tree." Because trees which are on Krishna's camp are carrying Krishna's characteristic. When you're passing, they're holding your cloth. They're trying to hold your cloth. So there's a play there, meaning the trees either from a Krishna Paksha, dark fortnight, or from the camp of Krishna, by the characteristic that it's able to hold Radharani when she passes. So many sweet jokes like this are given in the scriptures on flowering contests and garland making contests. So devotees in this world, when they make garlands, the meditation is when, oh, when will that day be mine that this garland that I'm practicing today can successfully take me to the eternal service of making garlands in that world. You can see even Narottam Das Thakur in the famous Radha Krishna Pranamur, his eternal abhilash, his eternal desire is Gathiya mala tir mala dibadohar gale adhare tuliya dibo karpura tambule. Gathiya mala tir mala. When will that day be mine? Narottam Das Thakur is praying in the Prarthana song book, in this very famous Radha Krishna Pranamur song, that when will that day be mine where I can make beautiful flower garlands and Dibo Dohar Gale, and I can offer it to around the necks of Radha and Krishna. Can you imagine, dear devotees? The word kunja, in the word kunja bihari, the word kunja means a flower grove. That's what kunja means. A grove, a garden, a very beautiful, wonderful place full of fragrant flowers. And vihari means that Krishna who sports, does vihar in a garden full of beautiful flowers. And what is Radharani called? Kunja Viharini, because she sports in the same kunj. So when you say Radha Kunja Vihari, immediately what comes in the heart is a whole wonderful spectrum of flowers. Fragrant flowers, colorful flowers, different shaped flowers, attractive flowers with humming bumblebees on them. But here's the condition. Krishna can accept garlands any way he wants, but Radharani is very strict. When Krishna has to make flower garlands for her, there's a very lofty condition. And the condition is, every flower in that garland should be untouched by any ant, by any bumblebee. No living entity, no species should have touched that flower ever in the day of Brahma. Only those flowers who are fresh, not one bumblebee ever, not one ant ever, that has touched. If anything lands there, it's rejected. So Krishna goes around picking all these flowers. Aparikalita purvam kaschamatkara-kari. Raghunath Das Goswami describes. Krishna goes picking flowers. Sometimes Krishna goes fruit shopping. You see in Vrindavan, you see when the lady came, Vikretu kama kila gopa kanya murari padar pichat chitta brittihi dadhyadikam moha vashadavochat govinda damodara madhaveti. You see the fruit vendor came in and Krishna went fruit shopping. The other day, Mother Yashoda wasn't home, so he took some grains of rice and he went to barter and get fruits. But that same Krishna, in the kunja of Vrindavan, he goes flower shopping. He goes picks flowers and he brings a big basket. And Lalita Sakhi looks at all these flowers and she says, "Where is this? I can see the footstep of a bumblebee. I can see an ant." And then Krishna's looking, his basket is empty. Lalita Sakhi says, "Now try again. Go pick more flowers." And in this way, our Shyamasundar, our Kunja Vihari, sits getting flowers from the kunjas, making flower garlands for Kunja Viharini, Srimati Radhika. It's so beautiful that when he succeeds, he gets gifts from her in the form of Kadamba earrings, Pulla Nipa Kusumanchita Karana. Karana means ears. And the Karana of Krishna is decorated by the Kadamba flower earrings that Srimati Radhika gifts him at the end of his flower garland success. And it's quite interesting. The word Kadamba should take our heart straight to the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani. Because in Vrindavan there are two trees which are very famous. The first is Kadamba and the second is called Tamal. So Tamal tree represents Krishna and the Kadamba represents Radha. Why? Because the Kadamba tree is fair complexion tree and the Tamal tree is dark complexion tree. And it's quite fascinating. In most places in Vrindavan you can see them grow together. Why? Because once they made a mistake of growing together And the wind of Vrindavan, the breeze of Vrindavan caught this as an opportunity and just carried all the seeds and all the pollen everywhere. So the seeds of the Kadamba and the Tamal tree, wherever the breeze carried them, they fell, and then they were all growing together eternally in Vrindavan, to show that every direction in Sri Vrindavan, in Braj Mandal, is dominated by these two trees. Kadamba representing Radharani, Tamal representing Krishna. You can see even during the Kaliya Daman Leela, when Krishna jumped into the Jamuna, he actually climbed a Kadamba tree. And then he jumped into the Jamuna. Also, when the swing pastime takes place in Vrindavan, this is called as the Julan Leela. It is always the tradition that the Julan, the swing, is tied to a Kadamba tree. Because the Brajbasis say that Tamal tree, like Krishna, is very weak. It may break any time. They say Krishna is threefold bending, and you don't trust someone who's already bending thrice. So that they say the Tamal tree is also threefold bending. We fear the Julan, the swing may fall. But they say Kadamba representing Radha, like her love, is standing strong and tall. So if you tie your Julan to a Kadamba tree, it'll swing forever. Rupa Goswami Pad says, in this way, Krishna wears very, very beautiful Kadamba earrings. Then he says, what else does Krishna wear? Krishna labhira krishorasi hari. He wears very beautiful garlands of gunja berries. How many of us have heard of gunja berries? Gunja mala. We've heard of gunja mala. You can actually, that's another homework. Just like we saw blue flax flower as homework yesterday, you can see gunja berries for today. It's quite an interesting seed. There are 3 colors to a gunja. If you see a gunja mala, a gunja berry, it'll have 3 colors. The first color is red. The second is black. The third is white or yellow. These are the 3 colors. And there is a reason why these 3 are used, and the speciality of gunja. For that, we have to go to Chaitanya Charitamrita. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he received a Govardhan Shila from a very great sannyasi by the name Shankararanya Saraswati. That sannyasi, he gifted a Govardhan Shila to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu worshipped Sri Giriraj Govardhan with so much love. It is described Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would hold that Govardhan and remember Krishna. Everyone please chant. Prabhu kahe, ei Shila, Krishnera Swarup. Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would preach to everyone. This Govardhan Shila is actually Krishna. And what would he do in the mood of Radha? Holding the Shila as Krishna, he would press the Shila to his chest, like embracing Krishna to the heart. And he would cry so much that there was never a time that Mahaprabhu did Govardhan Shila with water. He would always do it with tears. The Abhishek of Govardhan Shila. Generally, when you have a Govardhan Shila, you bathe every day with water. Right? But Mahaprabhu bathed the Shila every single day with his tears, running tears. It is described in Jagannath Puri when Mahaprabhu took darshan of Jagannath. His eyes became Jalayantra, which means a pitchkari. And everybody here post holy. I was flooded with the pictures of the Round Rock Holy Festival. Even devotees in Barsana celebrating Latmar were sharing Round Rock photos to me. I said, भैया आप तो बरसाने में आप रहो ना वहाँ पे. तो they were saying, नहीं अमेरिका में भी देखो भक्त कितना रंग बिरंगे हैं. बोला बढ़िया है, बहुत सुंदर है. Then I told him the secret. I said, एक हफ्ते बाद मैं यहीं जा रहा हूँ. बोले होली खेलने, बोले नहीं कथा करने. इसी में हमारी होली दिवाली सब हो जाती है. I said we celebrate everything through this. So we know what a pitchkari is, what a water syringe is. Chaitanya Charitamrita describes Mahaprabhu's eyes were like pitchkari, shooting water tears looking at Jagannath. We can't even cry like that materially. What to speak of cry like that for Krishna? And when Mahaprabhu would hold a Giriraj Govardhan Shila to his chest, he would cry so much that his tears would drench the Shila. and give him a bath every day. So much so that that Shila has an imprint of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's thumb. Can you imagine a stone, rock, which has melted by the love of Mahaprabhu, and then his thumbprint is there even now when you take darshan of that Shila. And Mahaprabhu gave that Govardhan Shila with a gunja mala. Now here's our connection to Raghunath Das Goswami. Raghunath Das Goswami said, who is this Govardhan and how do I worship him? Mahaprabhu said, everyone please repeat. Mahaprabhu said, Govardhan is Krishna. Gunja is Radha. Always keep them together. This was the instruction. So then Raghunath Das Goswami asked, how do I worship? Mahaprabhu said, bathe your Govardhan Shila every day and keep 8 tulsis around Govardhan Shila. 2 on each sides with a manjari. 2 tulsi leaves and a manjari to the left. 2 tulsi leaves and a manjari to the right. 2 tulsi leaves and a manjari behind, and 2 tulsi leaves and a manjari ahead. In this way, 4 manjaris, 8 tulsi leaves on all sides after worship, and always keep Govardhan Shila surrounded by Gunjamala. Why? Because Govardhan represents Krishna and Gunja represents Radha, and always keep them together. So Raghunath Das Goswami worshipped the Shila with Gunja all his life. Now here's where the tables turn. After Chaitanya Mahaprabhu departed, Swarup Damodar Goswami departed, Raghunath Das Goswami felt like giving up his life. He said, Jagannath Puri chhod kar main Vrindavan chale jaunga. I will leave Jagannath Puri, go to Govardhan, climb Govardhan and jump from there and give up my life. He had such lofty ideas. But Krishna is an expert plan changer. Please always remember that. Krishna loves changing plans. Yes, he loves changing plans. He's not going to follow our weekly planner. And you can always see this. For example, when Krishna desired, he got in the appearance of Parikshit Maharaj. And that was the disappearance of the Brahmastra. Ashwathama's Brahmastra disappeared. And who appeared? Parikshit Maharaj appeared. Now after a few years, Krishna thought, I'll change my plan. For the disappearance of Ashwathama's Brahmastra, Parikshit appeared. Now Parikshit disappears and Bhagavatam appears. And pure Vaishnavas like Parikshit Maharaj, like the breeze, they keep moving to the ever-changing plans of Krishna. In Sanskrit, the word Dhritarashtra, what does Dhritarashtra mean? Dhritarashtra means to hold our seat. Dhritarashtra, to hold our position, to hold our seat and not change it. Rashtra means place and Dhrita means to hold. Pakad ke rakhna. People are saying, अरे भैया छोड़ो अब, समय हो गया आपका. You're getting old. I'm comfortable. One time, one visitor came to a temple, and I was also there in that temple. They had invited me to give a talk there. But there was an interesting dilemma. One visitor came and he sat on the Vyasasana. He found a seat and he sat. He was about 65 years old. He thought that was one of the seats to welcome, visitors. So he went straight and sat on the Vyasasana. So my class was supposed to start at 6. Now it's already 6:15 that senior devotee is sitting. He was coming to the temple for the first time, so he didn't know. And I, of course, didn't have the heart and will never have the heart to tell him that. So I said, I will sit down and I will start the class. Now the temple president said, no, there is webcam, people are watching live, there is etiquette. They are asking me why class is not beginning and who's sitting now on the Vyasasana. Now what will I tell them? I said, so okay, maybe you can announce or you can tell the gentleman. I'm not going to say because it's not my etiquette, it's not right. I can sit down and speak, I told him. So he went and told the guest. He said, maybe you want to sit on this chair? He said, no, I'm comfortable. He said, I am comfortable. If you want, you can sit there. No, temple president didn't know what to do. He didn't know what to do. So he said, no, for the back, the temple president said, for the back, this is little low, but that chair is fantastic for the back. He said, I have no back problems. If you have back problems, you sit. I am comfortable here. This is a weird problem because the temple president was in his 40s and this guest was 65. So later, after a lot of negotiation, the temple president said, this is the seat for giving talks. So the guest said, okay, what do you want me to speak? I am watching all this happen. So what to do? So then he asked me what to do. I said, I have no problem. You can ask him speak. I have no problem. I don't know what he is going to speak, but if he is going to keep Prabhupada's philosophy, I have no problem, I said. So then finally the temple president told him. He said, no, this is for speaking Bhagavatam and we have some tradition, etc., etc. But then you said, then he understood. He said, oh, okay. I did not want to spoil. And he said, I am from South India. In our temple, we don't have any seat. He said, in our temple, we only have God and us, nothing else. So first time I saw seat, and that too, one fantastic seat. I thought youngsters, then he pointed at me, he said, I thought youngsters like him can sit down. And this was for senior citizens. So I was thinking to myself, Keshava tuva jagata vichitra. Oh Krishna, your world is colorful. In Sanskrit, the word Dhritarashtra means he who holds his position. He who holds his seat. So if we hold on to our own ideas and ask Krishna to change our plans or change his plan according to our plan, then that is Dhritarashtra mentality. But in Sanskrit, the word Vraja means to keep moving. Not just physically moving, doing parikrama, but to move moment to moment according to Krishna's ever-changing plans. Prabhupada raised his hand. Krishna, my Lord, kashtera puthali jata nachao se mate. Nachao, Prabhu, nachao se mate. I am a Vrajvasi. I am ready to move according to your ever-changing plans, O Krishna. You want to make me dance like a puppeteer makes a puppet dance, you make me dance. Krishna made Prabhupada dance and Prabhupada made the whole world dance. This is Brajbasi, ready to change according to ever-changing plans. Raghunath Das Goswami had his plan to come to Vrindavan and climb on top of Govardhan and commit suicide, give up his life. But what happened? As soon as he came to Vrindavan, Rupa and Sanatan Goswami caught him. And Sanatan Goswami caught him and said, where are you going? He said, I am going. Mahaprabhu went, Swarup Damodar went, I am also going. Sanatan Goswami said, many years ago, even I wanted to go. I tried to come under the wheels of the Rath Yatra cart. But Mahaprabhu held my hand. So now today you want to give up your life, I will hold your hand. Raghunath Das Goswami said, Mahaprabhu gave me a Govardhan with Gunjamala in connection to our discussion. Gunjamala. You keep this, I am not able to live in the absence of Mahaprabhu. Sanatan Goswami said, true love for Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu means to live in separation. Live in this world and speak about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu all your life. Raghunath Das Goswami said, if that's your instruction, where should I live? I don't want to live in Jagannath Puri because every place in Jagannath Puri reminds me of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Raghunath Das Goswami said, if I go to the Gambhira, I may die. If I go to Siddha Bakul, I remember Mahaprabhu. If I see Jagannath, I don't see Jagannath, I see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If I see the Garuda Stambha, I remember Mahaprabhu. If I see Maharaj Pratap Rudra, I remember Mahaprabhu. If I think of the Rath Yatra, I don't remember the Rath Yatra, I remember Mahaprabhu's dancing. If I go to Narendra Sarovar, I remember the bathing of Mahaprabhu. If I go to the ocean, I remember Mahaprabhu's singing and dancing on the beach. Jaun to jaun kaha, where can I go? Sanatan Goswami said, look, Mahaprabhu gave you Govardhan, which means you live at Govardhan. And in that he gave you a Gunjamala, which represents Radharani. So in Govardhan, the place of Radharani is Radha Kund. That is where you should stay. Raghunath Das Goswami came to Radha Kund on the power of the gunja berry that was given to him by Mahaprabhu. That is how much gunja represents Radha. Now you may ask, why the three colors and what is that? How is that connected to Radharani? When Krishna plays the flute and Radharani leaves home in the middle of the night running behind that flute, it is described Krishna is like a hunter and Radharani is like a deer. When the hunter plays the flute, the deer gets caught in the net. Krishna is like the flute player hunter, and his flute sound attracts the golden deer called Radha, and she gets caught in the net of the Rasa Leela. But when she leaves home in the middle of the night, because of the anticipation and the excitement to sing and dance with Krishna, she doesn't have time to dress herself well. So it's described she's putting kajal in one eye. But when Krishna plays the flute, now she doesn't have the composure to complete it. So she knows she has to put it, but she forgets where, so she just puts it on her lip. And then she wants to put the red lipstick on her lips, but she doesn't. Now she thinks, oh, I just put in one eye. The lipstick on the left eye and the kajal on the lips. And she comes like this in front of Krishna. Someone else would think, what is wrong? But Krishna found this to be more complete than actually having kajal on both eyes. Why? Because this shows that she can't even stay at home for that minute and hold composure to do what is logically correct, because between the head and the heart emerges victorious. So now you may say, what is the connection to the gunja? Gunja has three colors. The yellow part of it represents Radharani's golden face. The red part of it represents her lips, and the black dot on that red represents the kajal that she forgets to put on the eye but ends up putting on the red lip. So the yellowish part of the gunja is Radharani's golden face. The red part of it is her lip, and the black dot on the red part of the gunja represents the black kajal that she accidentally puts on the red lips of Srimati Radharani. Because of this, gunja represents Radharani, who has arrived in the Rasa Leela because of her excitement to meet with Krishna. This is gunja. So if you have Krishna at home and if you want to please him, please put gunja berry garlands around Krishna so that Krishna will bless you. Enjoy. Always keep Radha and Krishna together. In this way, if you do that, then Sundaro Jayati Kunja Bihari. Your Krishna who frolics in the groves of beautiful flowers, Kunja of Vraja, he is Sundaro. He looks very beautiful. Now, we're going to go to verse 4. I'm going to do others as well, but I just want to go in a logical flow between the verses. Gunja is connected to the fourth verse in a mysterious way. And therefore, from gunja in the first verse, we go to the gunja in the fourth. And let's see where it is. Please everyone repeat. Raga mandala vibhushita vamshi Vibramena madanotsava shamsi Stuyamana charita shukhasari Shreni jayati kunja bihari. Listen to this sweet, sweet phrase. Stuyamana. Stuyamana comes from the word stuti karna. Stuti. What does stuti mean? Stuti means glorification. Stuti mane glorification. I heard something very fascinating from my Guru Maharaj many years ago. He said Stuti is a kanya. She never gets married. She is always a kanya, unmarried girl. Why? Stuti means glorification. Listen to this, it's very poetic. My Guru Maharaj says Stuti is always a kanya. She never gets married. Why? Because those who want to marry her, which means those who want glorification, she runs far away from them. and those whom she wants to get married to, which means if glory wants to come to pure Vaishnavas, they run very far away from her. So in this way, she never has company. Because those who want glory, she's offering herself, like you can see in the story of Madhavendra Puri. The famous story, the glory of Madhavendra Puri spread everywhere, that Gopi, milk here, because it is Kshira in Bengali, but there's no Ksha, so it becomes Khir. Khir Chor Gopinath. Khir sunke, वैसे anyway. Ekadashi Khir. Krishna bhi Kunj Bihari hai. He's, he's frolicking in the Kunjas, but he also frolics on the tongue. Because we have to say something else. I want to say, when I touch Khir Chor Gopinath, Ekadashi Khir. Madhi next time for him. As to the whole village, and Madhavendra, that is a place where he is glorified. But he reached the next. Are the same Madhavendra from Pisto? So if anybody runs high glorification, Stuti runs away from them. And if she's pure devotee, the pure devotees run far away from her. So in this way it is described, Stuti never gets married. She's always unmarried. Stuyamana, to glorify. Charitaha, characteristics, personality. Shuka, Sari. Shuka and Sarika, they are parrots in Vrindavan. You've heard these words before, Shuka and Sari? Shuka is the male parrot and Sharika or Sarika is the female parrot, also shortly called as Sari. The parrots in Vrindavan, namely Shuka and Sari, Stuyamana Charitaha, they glorify the personality, the qualities of Kunja Bihari, according to Rupa Goswami. And Shreni Bihi means first class. First class parrots like Shuka and Sari, they glorify whose character? All glory is Jayati to that Kunja Bihari. So don't think Kunja Bihari is known only in Round Rock. He is also known in Round Rock. Kunja Bihari is glorified by Shuka and Sari in Goloka Vrindavan. Rupa Goswami Pad is writing. Now here's the interesting thing, dear devotees. And we're going to make the Gunja connection, by the way. Don't forget why we came to verse 4. We're going to make that connection. Parrots, Shuka and Sari. Oh, they are amazing. They're really amazing. Krishna has a parrot. His name is Vichakshana. What is his name? Vrinda Devi has a parrot. Her name is Daksha. Apart from that, Shuka and Sari are the lead male and female parrots. And what do they do after all? What do these parrots do? It is described in our Shastras by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, all these Vaishnava Acharyas. They say, now it's quite interesting, they say Vrinda Devi is the forest goddess. And therefore you can see, whenever Rupa Goswami Pad writes a play, you can see like Dankeli, Kaumudi, etc. So many plays that Rupa Goswami has written. You will see when other Sakhis are speaking, they will speak in the local dialect of Vrindavan. But when Vrinda Devi has her dialogues in those scripts, it's always in Sanskrit. Because it's believed in Rupa Goswami's writings that other Sakhis, well, they are special, but Vrinda Devi is a forest goddess. She's like straight from heaven. So when she speaks, she only speaks Sanskrit in Rupa Goswami's writing. Others, they speak the Laukik Bhasha, the local dialect of Vrindavan. But Vrinda Devi, she speaks only Sanskrit. Girvana Bharati, the language of the gods. Now, in her department of the Braj Broadcasting Corporation, BBC, yes. The CNN folks aren't liking this joke. Forget about the Fox News anyway. I'm not even going that far. It's about the Parrot News, not the Fox News. Parrots. So it's described that Vrinda Devi heads the Braj Broadcasting Corporation. She takes care of passing messages throughout Vrindavan. And who does it? The parrots do it for her. Even today, dear devotees, when you go to Brindakund in Nandagram at 7 o'clock in the morning, you can see over 10,000 parrots assembled there early in the morning. And just to see like a whole forest of green parrots with red beaks and making the parrot sounds as they're flying in flocks. Oh, it's amazing. If you ever get a chance, 7 o'clock in the morning, as the sun is rising, go to Brindakund, which is the headquarters where the Braj Broadcasting Corporation has its headquarters, of course. That's the place where all the parrots go in different directions. And parrots are sent in groups. And they're sent all around Vrindavan. Brinda Devi wants to plan her schedule. And she doesn't plan it one day before. She plans it in the morning. Her planner starts in the morning. So how does she do it? She sends parrots in all directions. All directions. And the service for the parrots is to collect information. What is Krishna doing? What is Radharani doing? Where is Mother Yashoda? Where is Nanda Baba? Where is Balaram? Where is Chandravali? Where is Radharani? Where are the Sakhis? Where are the Sakhas? What are the cows doing? How is Govardhan looking like today? How is the flowing of the Jamuna? Just to get the information straight, real time to Brinda Devi, so that she sits there and she plans on how Radha and Krishna can meet that very day. How to make it exciting. Should we have a swing pastime today? Is it too hot? Should we have a nice water sporting pastime, Salila Vihar, or boat festival pastime? Should we celebrate Holi? Holi is celebrated in Goloka Vrindavan too. Anand Vrindavan Champu by Kavi Karanapur describes Holi pastimes, by the way. There are beautiful descriptions of how Radha and Krishna take two sides. And Sakhis are split on two sides. And the condition is both have to hit water balloons at each other. Non-toxic colors, of course. And how is the condition? Radha Krishna on either sides. And the Sakhis from this side of Krishna will shoot water balloons towards Radhika. And Radhika's camp Sakhis will shoot towards Krishna. And the Sakhis have to jump and take the balloons on themselves so that they protect Radharani or protect Krishna. Krishna shouldn't be hit by a water balloon. Radharani should not be hit by a water balloon. They lose the battle if they're hit. If Radharani gets hit by a water balloon, her camp loses. It's not 3 strikes and you're out. It's 1 strike and you're out. So Radha and Krishna have to be protected. So the Sakhis make like a nice castle of their own bodies, like they're protecting. There's a human chain. Radharani in the middle, Krishna in the middle on either sides. And then as the water balloons are being splashed, the Sakhis are jumping and taking it on themselves. And every splash that they take, it's like a victory because they've protected Radharani and Krishna from being hit by that water balloon. At the end of it all, that Sakhi, who's most drenched with color, gets the tambul chewed by Srimati Radharani. From her mouth, by her. She will remove the tambul, the beetle leaf, prasad, and give it to the Sakhi who has worked the hardest in the Leela. Now you may think it's beautiful. Now the spicing in the story is, there are many in Krishna's camp who are actually Radhika's camp. Which means they sabotage the whole thing. If there are water balloons coming towards Krishna, their duty is supposed to idly jump and take it on themselves. And what they do is, they make sure the water balloons don't hit them. Which means they want to make sure it hits Krishna. So they will act and just to make sure. And they're from Radharani's camp. Now because everyone's colored, you don't know who's from whose camp. So eventually in all holy pastimes, Radharani wins. Because of Sakhis on her side protecting her, and Sakhis on the other side from her side not protecting Krishna enough. So Brinda Devi sitting in Nandagram at Brindakund is making these plans. What leelas to do? Should we have a nice swing pastime or a holy pastime or a nice boat festival pastime or meeting at Govardhan? What to do with Jatila and Kutila? What to do? How to confuse Chandravali? The parrots of Srimati Radharani are so smart that as they're flying over the kunj of Chandravali, they will just give wrong messages. Think about it. Parrots are the messengers in Vrindavan. And the parrots of Srimati Radharani are smart. Very smart. If we hear the services that they do for Srimati Radharani, we will chant our japa with this aspiration, I only want to be a parrot. I only want to be a parrot. I don't want to become anything for Srimati Radharani. That's how dear they are. They are flying over the kunj of Chandravali and singing songs on purpose with wrong messages. Like singing songs on how Krishna is walking through Sanketwan. I just saw, did you see? Even I saw Krishna's walking through Sanketwan, and any Sakhi who's fortunate enough will run quickly and meet him there. Actually, Krishna's nowhere close to Sanketwan. Just to confuse Chandravali and her camp about where Krishna is. Also, sometimes on purpose, these parrots, they drop handwritten letters by the Sakhis in Chandravali's camp with wrong messages. The message has no reality. Like, oh Chandravali, they write their own letter. Oh Chandravali, as if Krishna is writing the letter. I will be with the cows till about 10:45 in the morning. Straight after that, I'll meet you at Sakhi Sthali. You with all your Sakhis, please come there. So, it just seems to be a handwritten letter by the Sakhis from Radharani's camp, carried by the parrots of Radharani, but dropped on purpose in Chandravali's kunj. And it's a wrong message. It's a false alarm. It's a false alarm. But now here's the interesting thing. The love for Krishna is so high that you can take a chance. You can think that this message may be false. But what if it's actually true? So the parrots of Radharani are very, very smart. Very smart. Brinda Devi, she sends parrots in 10 directions. Now you may say, which 10 directions? So there's north, there's south, there's east, there's west, there's northeast, there's northwest, there's southeast, there's southwest, there's up, and there's down in 3D. So parrots are flying everywhere. And what do? It's not just one parrot. Parrots go in groups. And after every 5 minutes, the next parrot group goes in the same direction. Like for example, let's say about 500 parrots go in one direction. About 10 minutes later, another 500 parrots. Another 10 minutes later, another 500 parrots. Another 10 minutes later, another 500 parrots, all in the same direction. Now you may think, why do you need so many parrots in the same direction? You think, why would you need so many parrots in the same direction? To give live report. Because by the time the first set of parrots come, the situation may have changed. So the first reaches and collects information on what's happening, and they leave. By then the next camp reaches. And by then they leave, the third camp reaches. So Brinda Devi is just sitting. The forest goddess is sitting. And from all directions, the parrots are coming and giving live broadcast of what's happening. Krishna is at home. Krishna actually woke up. He's actually bathed. Actually, he's stepping out. Live report. And she's real time changing the script, listening to these parrots. These parrots are very dear. Brinda Devi's parrot Daksha has 100,000 parrot disciples. 100,000 parrot disciples. Rupa Goswami Pad, he actually had darshan of Brinda Devi at Brinda Kund. And the deity came by the mercy of Srila Rupa Goswami. And Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes a Brinda Devi Ashtakam, glorifying how the parrots are serving Brinda Devi. Fascinating. Really fascinating. Krishna's parrot, Vichakshana. He's a very interesting parrot. He's also being a parrot. Giving constant messages. Children will be like that. That's their age. So Vichakshana, it is described. He has golden tilak on his forehead. Krishna's parrot. Actually, there's a book called as Radha Krishna Ganodesh Deepika by Rupa Goswami, where he gives all this beautiful information about Krishna's parrot and Radharani's parrot and their details. It's described Vichakshana has golden tilak as a parrot. And not just that, he wears a crown. Can you think of a parrot with a crown on the head? A cute little crown on the head. And golden tilak. And not just that, he has tinkling ankle bells on his feet. And this parrot holds a rose between his feet as he flies. Holds a rose as he flies. Now you may say, well, everyone will know this is Krishna's parrot. So he also changes. He also changes from time to time. What does he do? Vichakshana, he's always green. But when he's coming closer to Krishna, he turns golden to remind Krishna of Srimati Radharani. And Krishna puts his forefinger out, and Vichakshana sits on Krishna's forefinger and turns golden and looks at Krishna and says, Radha! And Krishna said, stop. If you say that once more, even I'll turn golden. One time it's described. Mother Yashoda told Krishna to go and chant his Gayatri mantra. Krishna received his Gayatri from Bhagori Rishi, Nanda Maharaj's guru. So Krishna went and he started chanting his Gayatri. He started chanting the Narayan mantra in the temple. And Mother Yashoda was looking from the kitchen window to see what her son was actually chanting. She saw that he had his hand under the cloth. And from the corner of his eye, he was looking. If mother is looking, and mother is looking. And Shri Krishna closed his eyes. And after a point, Krishna felt so bored. He said, where is this? I am in Vrindavan and I am chanting the name of Narayan, my own name. What is going on? As soon as Krishna had this desire, Vichakshana came there. And he came there. Krishna looked at him, said, what's up? What's the news? Vichakshana said, there seems like there's a flood of sweetness that you're absorbed in. Sarcasm. There seems like a flood of sweetness that you're absorbed in. Krishna said, yeah, I'm chanting my own names. How exciting. And for a flood in Sanskrit, the word is dhara. So Vichakshana, he said this, and being a bird, he forgot the order. And he wanted to say flood of sweetness again, but to say dhara, he forgot the order of these two syllables, and he said Radha. And as soon as Krishna heard this, Prabodhananda Saraswati says, what is this? As soon as Krishna heard this, Atyanta Duram Chayat Premananda Rasam Mahasukakaram Chocharitam Premataha Devanamata Bhakta Mukta Suridam Atyanta Duram Chayat Premananda Rasam Mahasukakaram Chocharitam Premataha Jalpatyashru Mukho Haristadamritam Radha Iti Me Jivanam. Krishna heard these two syllables. He had his hand under his cloth still. And Vichakshana said, Radha! And now Krishna thought to himself, whoa, that's a message. He started chanting, Radha, 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 Radha. And as he's chanting, hair is standing on end, voice is choking, tears are coming from his eyes, and he's so absorbed, he's almost melting and fainting. Mother Yashoda looks from the kitchen. So my child, my son, what level of love. How interesting is the name Narayan that my son is chanting for hours. I told him just chant few times. And it's been 2 hours he's chanting. All glories to Vichakshana, Krishna's parrot, who saved Krishna from such a difficult situation. Vichakshana parrot ki. And this parrot, it is described. He turns golden as he comes close to Krishna. And then he takes news from Krishna. And as he's flying in the sky, he just mixes with everyone else and turns green, so that no one will know it's Krishna's parrot. And then when he lands on Radharani's forefinger giving the message, as soon as he touches her forefinger, Vichakshana turns red. because that is the color of love. Red in Sanskrit means anurag, which is prem. And it is described, this Vichakshana has a mantra written all over his body. You know what that mantra is? It is called Prema Mantra, the mantra of affection. Brindadevi Purnamasi have written a very beautiful mantra of divine love all over his body. So carrying a rose between his feet, having tinkling ankle bells, a golden tilak and a crown, with prem mantra all over his body, Vichakshana turning golden, green and red, fills the sky of Braj with the messages of the divine couple. How beautiful. Rupa Goswami is remembering that and saying, Stuya mana charita shukhasari, Shreni bhir jayati kunja bihari. All glories to Radha Kunj Bihari, who are glorified by parrots headed by Shuka and Sari. This is exactly what the meaning is. And it's sweetly described that Shuka and Sari are passionately absorbed in taking sides with Radha and Krishna. Shuka said takes sides with Krishna, and Sarika takes sides with Radha. The male parrot goes on Krishna's side and the female parrot goes on Radhika's side. And they fight. They fight. Shuka bole Amar Krishna Jagat Jivan. Shuka says, my Krishna is actually the heartbeat of the whole world. Do you know that? Shuka bole Amar Krishna Jagat Jivan. Sari boli Amar Radha Jivanera Jivan. Sari said, you're talking Krishna is the heartbeat of Vrindavan? My Radha is the heartbeat of that Krishna who's the heartbeat of Vrindavan. Then Sari said, do you have a comeback to that? Yeah, of course. Shuka bole Amar Krishna Jagatera Guru. Shuka said, my Krishna is Krishna Bande Jagat Guru, the spiritual master of the whole world. Sari said, do you know why? When you come under wish-fulfilling trees and you make a wish, they come true. So Shuka said, but who's the wish-fulfilling tree? Shuka bole Amar Krishna Jagata Jivan, Sari boli Amar Radha Jivanera Jivan, Shuka bole Amar Krishna Jagatera Guru, Sari boli Amar Radha Vancha Kalpataru. If your Krishna is the Lord or the Guru of the whole world, Sari said, my Radha is the wish-fulfilling tree at whose lotus feet your Krishna makes a wish and it comes out true. Shuka said, you know my Krishna, his peacock feather is always to the left. Sari said, that's like a self-goal. You're saying your Krishna has a peacock feather to the left. You made it easier for me. Oh, that's because even the peacock feather of Krishna knows where to point towards. Your Krishna doesn't even have peacock feather on his own side. That's also turning to the left. Shuka bole Amar Krishna, Premera Varshan. Krishna is the rain cloud which gives prem. Sari said, for the cloud to move, there must be breeze. Shuka bole Amar Krishna Premera Varshan, which means the cloud of prem. Sari bole Amar Radha Sthapita Pavan. That moving breeze which facilitates the cloud, called prema, to go here and there, that is Sri Radha. Shuka and Sari go back and forth. And who's sitting under the tree hearing this? Radha Krishna. Think about Vrindavan, where in the kunjas of Vrindavan, Kunja Bihari is sitting under the tree and the branches Shuka and Sari are glorifying back and forth. How sweet. Krishna says, Shuka, come on, keep it going. If you win a point, I will give you a gift. Shuka makes even stronger a point and comes down to the forefinger of Krishna. Krishna pushes a pomegranate seed in the beak of Shuka, a small pomegranate seed, and says, Khalo, good job. And if you win the next point, I will give you a whole pomegranate fruit. Radharani calls Sari. If you win, I'll give you a whole pomegranate tree. Krishna said, Shuka, if you win, I'll give you a whole pomegranate forest. Radharani said, Sharika, if you win, I'll give you the whole Vrindavan forest. Now you can't speak anything higher than that, so Krishna's quiet. Because it's the queen talking about the queendom where there is no king. So in this way, Stu Yamana Charita Shukha Sari Shre Nibir Jayati Kunja Bihari. Now you may ask, the connection to this verse was through the gunja. And that's the last point for today, dear devotees. In the Padyavali, Srila Rupa Goswami Pad says, Lalita Sakhi controls Krishna with the examples of the parrot and the gunja. The 2 points that we learned from gunja and parrot. What does Lalita Sakhi say? Rupa Goswami Pad in the Padyavali, he says, Lalita Sakhi tells Krishna, Oh Krishna, your love for Radha is only lip deep, like the redness found in the beak of a parrot. But Radha's love for you is heart deep, like the redness found in a gunja berry. Gunja goes with the parrot with the example that redness is found all over the gunja. And Lalita Sakhi says that's how much Radharani loves Krishna. The redness of gunja represents the redness of her love. And how much Krishna loves Radharani? According to Lalita Sakhi, when she's angry, that's not true. Radha and Krishna have unlimited love for each other. But Lalita Sakhi says, Oh Krishna, your love is only lip deep. You only say it, like the redness in the beak of a parrot. But Radha's love is heart deep, like the redness found all over the gunja berry. So therefore the gunjas all around Krishna to tell Radharani, I actually have as much affection for you as much as you have for me. And Radharani says, how much is that? I hope it's not like the redness on the beak of a parrot. Krishna says, no, it's as much as the redness in the gunja beads around my neck. Gaura Premanande. The parrot of our temple is back. Making the announcement messages. Huh? This is the parrot of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So both Radha and Krishna.
Not sure what to say after that. But thank you so much, Amarendra. That was so beautiful. I was actually looking at the altar, and I want to give a humble suggestion to the decorators after the class today. I think tomorrow we need to see 2 parrots in the rose bushes, because that description was so beautiful to think of this tree and these 2 parrots, Shuka and Sari, are having this beautiful conversation, and Shri Shri Radha Kunj Bihari just sitting there. So we already have the rose tree. I think we can find some parrots, live or non-live. Either way we'll do. But, we can definitely. The Devi Gauragi Mataji is very nervous now, like challenged to find live. I'm just kidding, Mataji. But live parrots, definitely kidding. But, yeah, we have parrots, so yes. But again, thank you so much, Amarendra Prabhu. That was just so much of nectar today. As we went deeper into this beautiful, beautiful Kunj Bihari Ashtakam, we kind of shared yesterday how this is an opportunity for us to dive deeper into appreciating Shri Shri Radha Kunj Bihari here. So let us give a huge round of applause for Amarendra Prabhu for that wonderful session. So our next part of the program is Aarti. So we request everyone to please stand, and we'll do some more announcements after the arti. So we request everyone to please rise and come closer again, like we said yesterday, to take darshan of Shri Shri Radha Kunj Bihari, Shri Gaunita, Jagna Balda Subhadra, and Shri Shri Bhanu Nandini and Shri Krishna. So please make sure to take darshan of these beautiful deities today, and we will get started here. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everyone together again. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Everyone, much louder please. Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And again, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
everyone, much louder please. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
much louder, please. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare Rama.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama.
Hare Rama,
Rama Rama.
Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Rama. Rama Rama. Hare Hare. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Rama. Rama Rama. Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna.
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Rama. Rama Rama. Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Rama. Rama Rama. Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Everyone, much louder, please. Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Oh Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Jaya Radha Kundi Hare Radha Kundi Hare Radha Kundi Hare Shri Radhe Radha Kundi Hare Jaya Radha Kundi Hare Radha Kundi Hare Radha Kundi Hare Shri Radhe Everyone much louder please Jaya Radha Kundi Hare Radha Kundi Hare Radha Kundi Hare Shri Radhe Oh Jai Radhe Jai Shri Radhe Much louder Jai Radhe Jai Shri Radhe Jai Radhe Jai Shri Radhe Oh Jai Krishna Jai Shri Krishna Oh Jai Krishna Jai Shri Krishna Jai Radhe Jai Jai Radhe Jai Jai Radhe Jai Shri Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Shri Radhe Hari Bol Jaya Radha Kunj Bihare Radha Kunj Bihare Radha Kunj Bihare Shri Radhe Jaya Radha Jaya Radha Kunj Bihare Radha Kunj Bihare Radha Kunj Bihare Shri Radhe Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare Rama Oh Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare And again Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Oh Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Everyone Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Jai Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Oh Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Oh Jaya Radha Kunj Bihari Radha Kunj Bihari Sri Radhe Oh Jaya Radha Kunj Bihari Radha Kunj Bihari Sri Radhe Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jai Jai Prabhupada Jai Jai Oh Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jai Prabhupada Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Oh Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol बोलो हरिनाम संकीर्तन महायज्ञ की श्री राधा कुंज बिहारी धाम की श्रील प्रभुपाद की गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि
नरसिंहो परतो नरसिंहो यतो यतो यमिततो नरसिंहो यतो यतो यमिततो नरसिंहो बाह्ये नरसिंहो हृदये नरसिंहो बाह्ये नरसिंहो हृदये नरसिंहो नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपदे नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपदे तव कर कमलवरे नाका अद्भुत श्रृंगार दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृंगा केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे अद्भुत श्रृंगार दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृंगा केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जय नरसिंहदेव जगदीश जय जय नरसिंहदेव जय जगदीश केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश जय जय नरसिंहदेव 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 जय नरसिंह जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय भक्त प्रहलाद जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय 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 प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय गुरुदेव जय जय गुरुदेव नीता नरसिंह भगवान की, प्रहलाद महाराज की जय, गौर प्रेमानंदी हरि।
Hare Krishna. Let's give another round of applause for Amarendra Prabhu, Gitamrita, and all the youth for that absolutely wonderful Kirtan. So the next part of the